Yeah, I swear. I can't get this thing to go straight. It's crazy. Got a mind of its own. Sorry, guys. Okay, it is February 3rd, and we are going to read from Exodus 17:8 through 19:15, Matthew 22:34 through 23:12, Psalms 27:7 through 14, and Proverbs 6:24 through 35. Like we like to do every single night, we're going to do the Lord's Prayer. So if you can join me if you'd like, or just if you don't know it, you can learn it. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, let's get started. Make sure my camera's running. Everything's good. Okay. Exodus 17:8 through 19:15. Amalek came up and fought Israel at Rephidim. Moses ordered Joshua, select some men for us and go out and fight Amalek tomorrow. I will take my stand on top of the hill holding God's staff. Excuse me. Joshua did what Moses ordered in order to fight Amalek. And Moses and Aaron and Hur went to the top of the hill. It turned out that whenever Moses raised his hands, Israel was winning. But whenever he lowered his hands, Amalek was winning. But Moses' hands got tired, so they got a stone and set it under him. He sat on it, and Aaron and Hur held up his hands, one on one side and one on the other. So his hands remained steady until the sun went down. Joshua defeated Amalek and his army in battle. God said to Moses, write this up as a reminder to Joshua to keep it before him, because I will most certainly wipe the very memory of Amalek off the face of the earth. Moses built an altar and named it God my banner, he said. Salute God's rule, God at war with Amalek, always and forever. Jethro, priest of Midian and father in law to Moses, heard the report of all that God had done for Moses and Israel, his people. The good news that God had delivered Israel from Egypt, Jethro, Moses' father in law, had taken in Zipporah, Moses' wife, who had been sent back home, and her two sons. The name of the one was Gershom, sojourner, I guess is what that means. For he had said, I'm a sojourner in a foreign land. The name of the other was Eliezer, which means God's helper, because the God of my father is my help and saved me from the death of Pharaoh. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brought Moses his sons and his wife there in the wilderness, where he was camped at the mountain of God. He had sent a message ahead of to Moses. I, your father-in-law, am coming to you with your wife and two sons. Moses went out to welcome his father-in-law. He bowed to him and kissed him. Each asked the other how things had been with him. Then they went into the tent. Moses told his father-in-law the story of all that God had done to Pharaoh and Egypt in helping Israel, all the trouble they had experienced on the journey, and how God had delivered them. Jethro was delighted in all the good that God had done for Israel in delivering them from Egyptian oppression. Jethro said, blessed be God, who has delivered you from the power of Egypt and Pharaoh, who has delivered his people from the oppression of Egypt. Now I know that God is greater than all the gods, because he's done this to all those who treated Israel arrogantly. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brought a whole burnt offering and sacrifices to God, and Aaron, along with all the elders of Israel, came and ate the meal with Moses' father-in-law in the presence of God. The next day, Moses took his place to judge the people. People were standing before him all day long, from morning to night. When Moses' father-in-law saw all that he was doing for the people, he said, what's going on here? Why are you doing all of this, and all by yourself, letting everyone line up before you from morning to night? Moses said to his father-in-law, because the people come to me with questions about God. When something comes up, they come to me. I judge between a man and his neighbor and teach them God's law and instructions. Moses' father-in-law said, this is no way to go about it. You'll burn out, and the people right along with you. This is way too much for you, and you can't do this alone. Now listen to me. Let me tell you how to do this so that God will be with you. God will be in this and with you. be there for the people before God, but let the matters of concerns be presented to God. Your job is to teach them the rules and instructions to show them how to live, what to do, and then you need help. Then you need to keep a sharp eye out for the competent men, men who fear God, men of integrity, men who are incorruptible, and appoint them as leaders over groups organized by the thousands, by the hundred, by the 50, and by the 10. They'll be responsible for everyday work of judging among the people. They'll bring the hard cases to you, but in the routine cases, they'll be the judges. They will share your load, and that you will make it easier for you. If you handle the work this way, you'll have the strength to carry out whatever God commands you, and the people in their settings will flourish also. Moses listened to the counsel of his father in law and did everything he said. Moses picked up competent men from all Israel and set them as leaders over the people who were organized by the thousands, by the hundred, by the 50, by the 10. Then they took over the everyday work of judging among the people. They brought their hard cases to Moses, but in the routine cases, they were the judges. Then Moses said goodbye to his father in law, who went home to his own country. 3 months after leaving Egypt, the Israelites entered the wilderness of Sinai. They followed the route of Rephidim, arrived at the wilderness of Sinai, excuse me, that's Sinai, I knew that, and set up camp. Israel camped there facing the mountain. I said Sinai. Israel camped there facing the mountain. As Moses went up to meet God, God called down to him from the mountain. Speak to the house of Jacob, tell the people of Israel, you have seen what I have done to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to me. If you will listen obediently to what I say and keep my covenant, out of all the people who be in my special treasure. Let's go back to that. If you will listen obediently to what I say and keep my covenant, out of all peoples, you'll be my special treasure. Lord, the whole earth is mine to choose from, but you're special, a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. This is what I want you to tell the people of Israel. Moses came back and called the elders of Israel together and set them before them all these words which God had commanded him. The people were unanimous in their response. Everything God says, we will do. Moses took the people's answer back to God. God said to Moses, get ready. I'm about to come to you in a thick cloud so that the people can listen in and trust you completely when I speak to you. Again, Moses reported the people's answer to God. God said to Moses, go to the people for the next 2 days. Get these people ready to meet the holy God. Have them scrub their clothes so that on the third day they'll be fully prepared. Because on the third day God will come down on Mount Sinai and make his presence known to all the people. Post boundaries for all the people all around, telling them, warning, do not climb the mountain, do not even touch its edge. Whoever touches the mountain dies a certain death, and no one is to touch that person. He's to be stoned. That's right, stoned, or shot with arrows, shot to death, animal or man, whichever, put to death. A long blast from the horn will signal that it's safe to climb the mountain. Moses went down the mountain to the people and prepared them for the holy meeting. They gave their clothes a good scrubbing. Then he addressed the people, be ready in 3 days. Don't sleep with a woman. So the breakdown of Exodus 17:8 through 19:15 says, Israel faces Amalek, and victory only comes when Moses' hands were raised. When they dropped, Israel was losing. The lesson, victory depends on dependence. Leadership matters, but so does support. Aaron and Hur literally hold Moses up. Then Israel reaches Sinai, where God calls them to be a kingdom of priests, set apart before God speaks. He tells them to consecrate themselves. God doesn't just deliver you from Egypt, he prepares you to meet him. Freedom comes first, holiness follows. Matthew 22:34 through 23:12. When the Pharisees heard how he, Jesus, had bested the Sadducees, they gathered their forces for an assault. One of their religion scholars spoke to them, posing a question they hoped would show him up. Teacher, Teacher, which command is God's law is the most important? Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your passion and your prayer and intelligence. Love the Lord with all your heart. This is the most important, the first on any list, but there is a second to set alongside it. Love others as well as you love yourself. These two commands are pegs. Everything is in God's law, and the prophets hang from them. And the Pharisees were regrouping. Jesus caught them off balance with his own test question. What do you think about the Christ? Whose son is he? They said, David's son. Jesus replied, well, if the Christ is David's son, how do you explain that David, under inspiration, named Christ his master? God said to my master, sit here at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. Now, if David calls him master, how can he at the same time be his son? That stumped them. Literalists they were. Unwilling to risk losing face again in one of these public verbal exchanges, they quit asking questions for good. Now Jesus turned to address his disciples, along with the crowd that he had gathered with them, the religion scholars and the Pharisees and competent teachers in God's law. You won't go wrong in following their teachings of Moses, but be careful about following them. They talk a good line, but they don't live it. They don't take into their hearts to live out. In their behavior, it's all spit and polished veneer. Instead of giving you God's law as food and drink by which you can banquet on God, they package it in bundles of rules, loading you down little pack animals. They seem to take pleasure in watching you stagger under these loads and wouldn't think of lifting a finger to help. Their lives are perpetual fashion shows, embroidered prayer shawls one day and flowery prayers the next. They love to sit at the head table at church dinners, basking in the most prominent positions, preening in the radiance of public flattery, receiving honor any degree, and getting called doctor and reverend. Don't let people do you that way. Put put you on a pedestal like that. All you have a all you all have a single teacher, and you all classmates. Man, that does not look right. Don't let people do you that way. Put you on a pedestal like that. You all have a single teacher, and you are all classmates. Sometimes the Bible, I don't speak like that. It's kind of talks like reverse. My bad. Don't set people apart. Don't set people up as experts over your life, letting them tell you what to do. Save the authority for God. Let Him tell you what to do. No one else should carry the title of Father. You have only one Father, and He's in heaven. And don't let people maneuver you into taking charge of them. There is only one life leader for you and them, Christ. Do you want to stand out? Then step down and be a servant. If you puff yourself up, you'll get the wind knocked out of you. But if you're content to simply be yourself, your life will count for plenty. I'm going to underline that. Do you want to stand out? Then step down and be a servant. That's good stuff. Okay, the breakdown of Matthew 22:34 through 23:12 says Jesus sums up the entire law in two commands. Love God completely and love your neighbor genuinely. Everything hangs on that. Then he exposes the hypocrisy of the religious leaders, people who know scripture but miss God. They love titles, attention, and appearances, but not humility. Jesus flips the script. The greatest in God's kingdom is the servant. Knowledge without love produces pride. Truth lived out produces humility. Psalms 27:7 through 14. Listen, God, I'm calling at the top of my lungs. Be good to me. Answer me. When my heart whispered, seek God, my whole being replied, I'll seek him. Don't hide from me now. You'll always be right there for me. Don't turn your back on me now. Don't throw me out. Don't abandon me. You've always kept the door open. My father and mother walked out and left me, but God took me in. Point me down your highway, God. Direct me along a well-lighted street. Show my enemies whose side you're on. Don't throw me to the dogs, those liars who are out there to get me, filling the air with their threats. I'll sure know I'll see God's goodness in the exuberant earth. Stay with God. Take heart. Don't quit. I'll say it again. Stay with God. The breakdown of Psalms 27, 7 through 14 says David cries out honestly, fear, longing, and trust all at once. Even when people fail or abandon him, David is confident God will not. His focus isn't escape, but presence, to dwell in the house of the Lord. Then Psalms ends with a charge to the soul. Wait on the Lord, be strong, and let God strengthen your heart. Waiting isn't passive, it's faith under pressure. Mm, dwell in the house of the Lord. I don't think we do that enough. I know I don't. I need to do it more. It's like 1,140 minutes in a day, and God says 10% of everything He gives you daily. So that's 2 hours and 24 minutes you should be spending with God every day. Do you spend that much time? Because I don't. Some days I do, but I'd say maybe 70% of the time I do that. I should be doing it every day. So Proverbs 6:24 through 35, they'll protect you from promiscuous women, from the seductive talk of some temptress. Don't lustfully fantasize on her beauty, nor taken in by her bedroom eyes. You can buy an hour with a prostitute for a loaf of bread, but a promiscuous woman may well eat you alive. Can you build a fire in your lap and not burn your pants? Can you walk barefoot on hot coals and not get blisters? It's the same when you have sex with your neighbor's wife. Touch her and you'll pay for it. No excuses. Hunger is no excuse for a thief to steal, but he's caught. But when he's caught, he has to pay it back, even if he has to put his whole house in hock. Adultery is a brainless act, self-destroying, self-destructive. Expect a bloody nose, a black eye, and a reputable ruin for good, and a reputation ruined for good. For jealousy detonates rage in a cheated husband. Wild for revenge, he won't make allowances. Nothing you say or pay will make it all right. Neither bribes nor reason will satisfy him. So, the breakdown of Proverbs 6:24 through 35, this is a blunt warning about adultery. Sexual sin doesn't just tempt. It destroys trust, honor, and peace, and its consequences linger. Forgiveness may be possible, but scars remain. The message is simple and serious. Wisdom protects you before temptation, not after damage is done. Desire unmanaged becomes destruction. Desire unmanaged becomes destruction. Ouch. That's strong words right there, folks. Okay, so that is all I have for tonight. Trying to find all my things here. I appreciate you for joining in. I love you. If no one told you today, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I love you. I love you. I love you. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.